episode 18. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to What Are You Playing, where we tell you the titles we're working through.
Be they old or be they new.
Listen, learn, and ask a question or two.
I am Yoko, and I am so ready for E3 1 week away.
I am Super, and... Oh, no.
You're
oh,
not?
no!
Oh. I just lost everything over here.
Oh.
Everything's
Here
gone.
we go. I'm back.
Millions
Alright,
are dead.
You're super.
And I now have 2 Pikachu 3DSs?
What? Is one a shiny?
Yes. Yeah, one's in a shiny little box. I found it hiding in the back of a Walmart case. I'm just kind of like, I could make some money off that.
Oh, definitely you could.
Yeah. So I made
Anyway,
that right away. It's kind of like, well, this is a good investment.
okay, I'm
Put it on eBay.
Tony. Shut up. I'm Tony, and
Tony,
I enjoyed. I'm Tony, and I enjoyed Hangover 3 on completely different merits.
Well, I'm glad my introduction was the only one that went smoothly. We are part of the Show Me Your News Network, and this is episode
Me too.
18 of What Are You Playing on Sunday, June 2nd, 2013. Our guest today, we welcome back, you may know him as Master WGS. Grant, welcome back to the show.
I'm here.
Hey!
I know him as Wuggles.
You could go by a
You are
plethora of
so
names.
privileged.
Last time you were on, you were telling us about the wonderful game Tokyo Jungle.
And I hope everybody played it and announced it as their game of the year 2012, as I did. But alas, I saw the Show Me Your News results and realized people just don't listen to me.
I think it did win one award during that
it won,
show.
I think, like most underrated or something.
Yeah,
I was
something like that.
And I was like, that it deserves so much more. But
I bought
Don't
it, and
smell
my
it.
account is tied onto my buddy Nathan's account, and he logged in like 40 hours into it. If that makes you happy.
That does.
I've bought it.
I just can't get over the fact that you pressed that one button, the distraction button, and the other deer's brother just leg snapped.
Oh, it's so good. It's great because they lead you up with the brother. Let's use our team tactic that we've been working on. Like when you're attacked by a saber-tooth in the story mode, and like your immediate thought is like, oh sweet, maybe the herbivores have like this great combat thing. But no,
Nope.
the pack tactic in herbivores is sacrifice one of them for the good of the rest. It's brutal. But that's nature for you.
That Tokyo Jungle game. Anyway, on What Are You Playing, we talk about the games you've been playing recently for the past month or so. And Tony, it's been about 3 months, so I expect a hefty list when we get to you.
Oh yeah.
Although, we're going to start with Super first. What have you been playing?
Well, as you guys know, a certain thing happened that kind of distracted me from gaming for a while. My car.
Mention it here because I don't know
I
if people
just
just
did.
listen to rap.
I just did.
Said your
Thank
car.
you,
That's
Tony.
not descriptive.
I
His
was
car
going to
happened.
go-
I thought you were talking about.
I was going to go
happened.
into more details, but thank you for just keep talking and talking.
I thought you were going to talk about strippers.
Oh yeah.
Let's
he
not
does
let him
that.
talk about his story, guys.
No, my car died while I was driving it. It was kind of dangerous, but I got over it. My car didn't. So I spent the last 2 weeks kind of just getting myself back in a vehicle so I could actually get to work, so I can keep affording video games and this horrible hobby. That takes all my money.
Yes, what a terrible, terrible hobby.
Yes, it's a good thing that, I play it so sparingly. But in the meantime, right before I had sent it in, I played a lot of Fire Emblem Awakening. And I had gotten quite attached to the DLC and stuff like that, which means, but there's a lot of good story stuff in there, especially with the last one, that I really can't talk about it on this show.
Yes.
All I know is that I really enjoy the game. Then I finally started playing Borderlands 2 after they raised the level cap. and I still haven't gained a single level because it takes so long.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still level 50 because I mean, to be fair, at the time I was just running through the original playthrough 2 campaign with a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he hasn't gained a level either. But we finally finished off that story arc. We haven't gone back to the third DLC yet, but we will soon. Because we both decided that we weren't going to play until the level cap was raised, and we finally have time off to do so. So that here from that, the third DLC for me. Next, what are you playing? And probably the fourth DLC if it's out by then.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know the release date on that.
I think it's the end of June.
Okay,
Tiny
so
Tina's something or other.
Dungeon something.
Yeah.
It's Dungeons and Dragons in Borderlands. What are you gonna do? I've played some Project M. I think we all can just basically nod our heads and go, "That's a good game."
That is a good game.
And I love dicking around with so many characters.
Okay, all right, real quick. Who would you say, and this is me putting you on the spot, who would you say is the strongest, and who would you say is like the weakest character right now? Just like, throw it out there.
Strongest has to be, well, out of the new characters or just in general?
Just in general.
In general,
Like if it was like,
Well,
hey,
Fox.
like the strongest in this game. Fox, all right?
Well, Fox, because Fox, if he's played to any effect, you are having a bad time and you're never going to recover because Shine.
Okay.
Otherwise, the pick up and play aspect goes, I'd say Ike.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he's still strong.
Oh, I agree. And I think it's really
He's-
weird that his tournament usage is kind of dropped.
It's because
But-
he's less strong.
But
He's-
it's
You,
like,
you can still,
instead of
you can still
walking
side
away
B
with
out
$1
of
million,
everything.
I can walk away with 900,000.
Yeah.
Like,
You can still side B into everything. The 2-frame difference, I haven't seen be that big of a deal.
yeah.
But
just
as
easy.
far as, yeah, I mean, I think Ike is even easier to pick up than Sheik, simply because if you play a mid-level player, they're going to know how to crouch cancel and stuff, and that kind of ruined Sheik's approach game for a little while. At least until bonus rounds.
I don't mess with Sheik much.
She's good. She's so very good.
Sweet.
But
Frustrating.
I think one of the highest mid-level play characters right now is Ivysaur.
He has, or she, I guess, is their
Yeah.
official stance, which, I can't hear soar. Like, oh, that's a girl.
Midoriya.
Yeah, I've been kind of out of the scene lately because my close friend Bucko5 is now in the back room, and rather than pay attention to current tournaments and stuff and the demo, we've been just playtesting the dev build a lot. So like I'm curious as to where people have come on the demo, because I remember what my opinions were like the last time I was really seriously playing it, and I'm trying to
What were your opinions?
gauge where I was. I remember thinking Diddy was going to come in and start wrecking. I am still convinced that Diddy was a prank and like he was made way too good, and they're like, will anyone notice? Let's find out. And
I love
walked
Diddy.
away.
He's a great character to run around with. I just can't really understand some of his weird weights.
I think
'cause-
he just hits. He goes really fast and he hits super hard, and none of his stuff like really requires sweet spots. It's just all of this hits really hard, and you're going to die. And
Yeah,
also he
his-
recovers for 1,000,000 years. It's
and his
oh,
down air is fantastic.
Plus, they added a little juggle taunt.
Yeah, too
Oh,
broken.
yeah, obviously that's top tier.
That's my
You can
favorite
cancel
part.
it.
Yeah.
You can cancel it.
I was
You can
still
jug-
hoping that Lucas would get more usage, but and Calibrell's kind of brought him up to the public eye with his one video.
I'm still super surprised that Sonic isn't taking off, because down B all day long.
Yeah, Sonic I makes sense because I think he is really good, but people won't find him fun to play because he's just like an annoyance. It's just like keep being a fly that can't swat until
Yeah.
you get them to like 300%.
Yeah.
The links can be really good too, I've found.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Links
yeah.
are a lot of fun.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen a Toon Link really recover,
Mhm.
oh my god.
Toon Link's
Oh,
scary.
He recovered.
that
he recovered
kind of
from
leads me to
everywhere.
my who do you think is the weakest? Because I honestly thought Toon Link was the weakest character
Really?
in 2.5.
I disagree simply
Overall.
because I've seen Toon Link recover from the furthest, like, lowest right area of.
My problem with
Fatherless
him is
Nation.
not his recovery. I just think that he is I just think like all around like he just is not adequate compared to the other to the rest of the cast. I don't think he's terrible. Like I need to emphasize that. I'm not going to say he's the worst and like he's awful and no one can win with him. It's like just while everyone else is a 9, he is an 8.5, and it's like like if we were to look at it and be like, well, by the numbers, here's what he has versus what everyone else has. I feel like he just has trouble keeping up with everybody else.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, for me, I think the weakest has to be somewhere like Game & Watch.
Mm.
I don't find Game Watch nearly as good. Yeah.
It's just that he's solid, and I have seen some Game & Watches running around with their judge hammers
He
and
is super
doing,
frail, though.
huh?
He's super frail, though. Like he will.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
frail,
win,
and
knocks him out.
I just kind of like I play Sonic myself. He's my main, and I
So
basically
you like
can
to be a pest.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I basically F tilt Game & Watch off the edge and watches his recovery fails him.
Fair enough.
And because
Like a parachute really kills him.
No, I'm saying you're not. He doesn't fair enough.
Yeah.
That Game & Watch needs to use fair more, and he'll be fine.
I'll agree with Major Moses. I think
Yeah.
King DDD is also
oh no.
pretty low there. I don't know.
I've seen some great
I agree
day-to-day.
with that too.
If you ever see a day-to-day using jab, he's doing it wrong.
Yeah. Like I said, I
think if any character uses just jab, they're doing it wrong.
Well, I mean, like, I still don't really see any use for day-to-day's jab when he has down B. It's
Yeah, down
so
B.
much faster.
What's that little pointy back air, really quick little kick
Very
thing?
strong. And his waddle shenanigans now, his waddle tossing.
It's pretty silly.
Mhm.
Yeah, and oh god, there was a moment yesterday when I was playing Project M. Actually, I wasn't playing; I was watching, and it was a team battle. And at one point, Falco was running past a day-to-day who's just starting his inhale, and he gets caught in the inhale, but he's still running at the very edge of the inhale, and he's being slowly, 10 seconds long. This is taking for Falco to be slowly called into the day-to-day's inhale. He finally tries a dash attack out. Gets to the very edge and then slides right back in. It was one of those things that you just have to watch and see in the middle of a match. Because then, as soon as like the other partner was taking care of the other opponent, but the other opponent finally got away and was going to attack Day to Day, and then Falco failed, got sucked in, and then he spat him right back out and hurt his hurt the Falco's partner.
Nice.
But yeah, it was one of those you got to be there moments because everyone just paused the game and just cracked up laughing.
Somebody paused and they had to give up a stock because of the
Oh, yeah.
rules, and it was like, oh, looks like you technically lost.
Controversy.
I
And we saw
love
two
Smash
JDs versus
tournaments.
I've never
We saw
had
2
a
versus 2 Falco.
I've never had a serious DDD match. Whenever Nate picks DDD, it just turns into madness or just stupid crap just keeps happening and we can't take it seriously.
I really can't say that Day to Day is lower than a lot of people because like
I think he's really good.
that F tilt, that back air, that forward air strength, all of those poking options. I mean, really the only place that I can really say he's weakest is if someone's below him in midair, and that's a lot of people's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Look at Super being all Japanese day.
He can recover forever too, so that's nice.
D3, mofo.
Yee.
But yeah, that's
The
like
trips D.
the only problem is that I haven't been playing much Project M, so my tech skill is way off right now.
So now it's my time to strike.
Well,
The
not
gauntlet!
not that off.
The gauntlet must be thrown.
Behold, I am in your room. Let us play Smash now.
Dude, I would totally play Smash if you were here.
Well, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Stop being in like that Ohio place.
Hey, come to Nerd Rage. Nerd and Rage when I beat you.
That is the plan at the moment. To go
That's
to
his house.
Nerd Rage is a tournament in Cincinnati in like August. That's supposed to be the first Project M only international thing. And I was like,
Wow.
well,
Holy crap.
Might as well go, I guess. It's only a couple hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I'll get my butt kicked, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, I do plan on making it out to that one.
Well, Cincinnati's relatively close to you, right, Tony?
Yeah, it's not too far. I've been to some Bengals games, just to see like the Browns play. So I don't think it took that long.
At this point, I'd go, "Hey Tony, let's team," and then I'm like, "Wait, no."
No, you don't want that.
Grant,
That'd
let's
be a terrible mistake. I'll probably.
You'll probably
team
team with
with
3CC or something like that.
Nah, probably. It might be Bucko 5. He and I might team because we keep wanting to be a team, so we can be the Pirates, where I'll be Scallywigs and he'll be Bucko Near. And, we had this theme team like 2 years ago idea, and like ever since it's like let's go to a tournament, and we'd always get there too late for teams.
Oh.
Oh God, no, I'm
Is
sorry.
Bucko 5 a reference to that song in
Yes,
Team America? Okay, thank you.
It is the
That
present.
makes me really happy.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about my name, though. I can team with everyone.
Yeah, because now
Yeah.
they're super well.
It just pumps them up.
Yeah. Although, like, there is one per viewer discretion is advised for this next segment. There is a person in West Michigan. He goes by the name Sophie, but his tag is anal.
super anal.
So when we team, we're super anal.
It just
Except
paid a lot of
for
attention to
we were-
detail.
And you're
We were
you're
also
gonna make it
fighting-
hurt. Make it hurt.
Yeah, except for yesterday when we were fighting, we were also with Red and Storm, and I was teamed with Red, and it was
Oh.
Super Red versus Anal Storm. Super Red Anal Storm. That was the fights we were having.
That just sounds like a big old mess down there.
Oh, it was a mess. Sheiks,
I
and
wish we could-
Sonics, and Falcos, and Foxes.
I wish WRUP wasn't limited to naming episodes in a current way, or I'd say name it that.
It would be a good one.
Super red anal storm.
I guess I'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you move on from that, but go for it.
Obviously, and tangentially related, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dreamed of Distance.
Oh, of course,
Yes.
related.
Because,
Because in the current world,
What, you haven't been to
there's
the super anal red planet yet? Sorry. Anyway.
something about communism.
Crab, Sebastian the Crab, I don't know.
Yes. I was going a Superman angle. That's better. You went Disney.
That's actually tangentially related, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
But they're not in that game. Little Mermaid isn't in that game.
I guess.
Anyway.
I'm not that far.
It's all new worlds,
Mm-hmm.
as far as I know.
No,
I really
'cause
like
right
them
now.
just-
Right now, I'm in the Tron world,
Yeah, that's a
And I-
repeat.
Yeah, but that's like
and I beat Traverse Town, so
that's like Tron Legacy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You get to see, what's his name? Jeff Bridges, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's probably not Jeff Bridges.
Oh, it has to be. You think Disney wouldn't spend that Jeff Bridges money?
They didn't do
the
Pirates of the
sound alike
Caribbean money.
The quote unquote sound alike is fine though.
Mm-hmm.
Like having not really watched the movie, I'm just kind of like, well, this is different. I am not emotionally invested in any of you, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna beat up. The guards in the Tron world are actually pretty hard to fight because
There's
I'm just like,
The guys
Yeah,
who look like people, kind of like they're just
Yeah.
humanoid things. Yeah, they were tough.
they're tough, and I'm like, God, I really wish I had something to do out of my guard so I can actually attack back out of these guys because they attack so quickly, you can't attack back. And like as soon as I get through the section where they throw a whole bunch at you and it's like super difficult, it's like I walk out of that area map and it just says learned Counter Strike, not Counter Strike, like current Counter Shot or something like that. I'm like, seriously? After a successful counter, press A to release a flurry of blows. Are you kidding me?
I just
see,
imagine Sora
you just-
walking away all
had to earn
tattered
it.
and bloody.
Learn to not suck.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, I could have used that, I don't know, 2 seconds ago.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen a humanoid thing since, so I'm kind of pissed. But I think since I'm attacking like a battleship or something like that, there'll be a lot of those guys there.
Yeah, totally.
But insofar, I do like it. I do have a couple of problems with the game right now in that some of the environments are just kind of square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's square room, here's square room, here's square room. and they're all very empty. It's kind of like the same problem I had with Agrabah in the first game. Yeah, you built this area, but it's so devoid of any sort of life.
I agree. I liked it a lot better in 2.
Yeah, 2 had it right. Like when you were battling in places you don't expect to see people. So I've run through like 3 different places, right? Or well, not 3, but 2 different places right now that were all like towns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're so devoid of life, and I'm just like, who lives here?
Yeah.
The Heartless have taken over. There are no people left.
There are
Mankind
no
is
Heartless. They're dream eaters or something.
Something.
Do you understand what's going on?
yeah, you're
at
right.
all?
Me? Yeah, I actually understand perfectly fine.
All right.
Like,
What do you think of the drop mechanic?
That it's weird, considering like in the second world I got something called a drop me not, which means you're basically no longer forced to drop anymore. You get low on drop and then you just use another one, and usually I only need to use one before I to be able to complete a world. So in the drop time that they give me, I can complete a world by using just one drop me not. So in the end, it's just kind of like the mechanic is there just for me to play 2 different stories in the same world.
I found it really confusing how they like. I don't know. I guess they left the island. They like if the time stuff and the dream worlds wasn't confusing enough, they show a lot of the Merlin bits, or not Merlin, Yensid stuff like in bits, like in flashbacks. I'm like,
oh man, there's something convoluted and confusing in Kingdom Hearts. What?
Inconceivable.
Man, I've kept up with all of them.
Impossible.
I've kept up with all of them, and that was the first game where I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I've kept up with all of them, and I just keep shaking my head every time they have their big reveal moments before the credits.
I haven't at all been keeping up with them. I have no idea what really happened. Like the only.
Oh sure, when you just take it one game at a time and have it be its own little consolidated thing, it's not so bad. But
well, it's like I had 358.5 days. They hand you a little, like you get to a certain point where it's like heavily referenced, and then it hands you a entire like little synopsis of what happens in the game. Just like, oh, I don't have to play it anymore.
Oh yeah, they got like a little journal in there or something, don't they?
Yeah, it's like
or something.
I just take 2 seconds to read it. I'm like, all right, I'm caught up to speed.
I know.
That helps.
Now I know.
I just don't get dream worlds and if there's time travel and stuff. There is time travel. Like that's confirmed as much.
I still have to see the timeline episode that Game Trailers did. Because they apparently did this timeline series, and their first episode is on Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that's a tough one to
So I was gonna say,
go with on your first.
Yeah,
I mean, it isn't Legend of Zelda. I'll give them that much. They could have gone for the cliche.
Yeah, but Legend of Zelda now has an official one, so you could easily just look at it.
But then you do have people who still hotly debate it with the whole hero losing, blah blah blah. I don't know. Oh, the first one's on. Damn it, the first one was on Zelda. Game Trailers, I gave you too much credit. Oh, jeez. Anyway, what else have you been playing, Super?
I've played the first roughly 15 minutes of Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. This is the first time I've played this game because back in the day, games don't really sell around here for some reason. So back when I was just a wee tyke, we didn't get games, or we got picked and choose games. We had Oracle of Ages, couldn't anywhere.
Ages is better than Seasons, though, so.
Having played Ages, I liked it. It was okay. I don't really have the fondest memories. Hopefully, as I return to it now, I'll like it more. But as far as I know, Ages was considered the puzzle-based one, and Seasons was considered the action-based one.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I'll be.
You got both though on the eShop for the special though.
Oh yeah. First thing I did when I got my Pikachu thing was Pikachu back. I got Seasons, Ages, and then I'm like, screw it. And I picked up Ocarina of Time. So I've just got like an emulation device on my SD card for my 3DS.
Most people's 3DS.
Yeah.
It's like I have so many games for Zelda, I actually just like, wait, I actually have a use for a folder now. So on my main page, it's just like there's this the Zelda folder, and it has 5 games in it. Doesn't have our Adventure of Link yet, though.
We got all those free games they gave us, like in folders.
Yeah, you have fun.
Yeah, you're not missing much. I don't mess with them too much.
I lost all those
And the
when,
Great
when my 3DS died.
Oh.
I think the biggest
Unless
thing I
there's
like
some way
is-
to get the Ambassador games back again. I think I still have the ticket somewhere, but
If you'd linked them to your Club Nintendo account, I think you can get it back.
but there's like no place to access it in the store. The eShop, sorry, the Nintendo eShop, as far as I know. I may just be not aware of it, but
Yeah, I think you can just
Not
go
gonna
to
lie to you, I think they might be
download
gone,
history.
'cause Nintendo's not the greatest on
Right.
customer support when it comes
No,
to
I-
the internet.
No.
that's my thought too.
Yeah, I mean, you just had. I mean, for me, I thought it was just like if you just reconnected it to your Club Nintendo account, you could check your download history.
We'll see. I'll have to look into that.
I mean, I'm not a guy who had an Ambassador game, so I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And last thing I played, which is very odd because it's the first time I played it. I only played it online. Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was very funny because I saw it on someone else's. What are
Indeed,
you
you
playing
did, but we
here?
probably played different parts of the game. Oops, wait,
Yeah.
spoilers.
Oh well. Write a song and
So-
make a
so-
content about it.
I'm not gonna write you a love song.
But yeah, I found out that I am fairly terrible at Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oh yeah.
At least until I hit my stride, whereas then I'm mediocre. Just mediocre. Because, like,
That's
I jumped in on my buddy's account as his guest. So we got, thrown in with all the people that is his skill level. Or at least the skill level of level 65 prestige, then prestige, and then level 65 again, or whatever it is, 55. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how many times he prestiged, but we were thrown in with that crowd. And I'm just like, why does everybody know exactly where to stand?
Yeah.
Call of Duty Online is
It's a lot of
garbage
time.
anyway. It's repetitive and blah.
hmm I still don't really understand the knife mechanics because I'm just like, at one point, I stabbed the guy from way too far away. I'm like, well, that was a thing. Another time, like, I see the final kill cam, and this guy runs by another guy. The enemy runs by him, and then without even turning around, the guy swings the knife at open air, and then he gets the kill. I'm like,
Yep.
that's
Yay,
good.
lag.
That's good. Everyone saw that.
Yeah, dude, knife mechanics are stupid in those games.
hmm
You just
But,
swipe and they're dead.
I really couldn't understand. I really don't understand the draw of, like, perks and all that. Because, like, yeah, you can customize your character and make him super strong. And, you use this gun, you unlock more features for it. And I was looking at it, I'm just like, what's this damage bar doing here? I thought this was supposed to be all, super awesome, realistic thing. Not, I'm dealing damage to you. My 3 bullets to your chest kill you, while your 5 bullets to my face doesn't. Because you
It's
have a
really
damage
weird.
output.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't see how this is popular.
I find that game more arcadey than anything.
Yeah, arcade is a very good way to put it. There's high scores and all that jazz.
Yep.
I don't get it.
Call of Duty Online. It's pretty weird.
Pretty much.
No dogs yet.
No dogs, but
Wait
there
for
will
dogs.
be dogs.
Woggle's
Oh,
Twitter
man.
icon is a dog right now.
It was. I changed it back the other day to a really poorly drawn Vegeta from a Dragon Ball Z fan comic. But it was the duty dog for a while. And if you want a real quick Twitter account to follow, Collar of Duty, I think, or Collar
Okay.
Duty.
It's just
I can't
collar
remember.
duty.
Yeah,
Is it okay?
That
It's
is-
pretty great.
that is a good one.
I did I did feel a little bit overdone by like a week out from the Xbox One, or as I call it, the X-Bone
X-Bone.
reveal.
Woof woof.
Exactly, man, going to the dogs. But it was still pretty good that first day, and I was laughing really hard at that GIF of the dog jaw
Oh.
going up and down.
It's a good way to describe the conference. Your jaw dropping and then slowly coming back up.
It's like, oh,
So Grant, what have you been playing?
Oh boy. Okay, let me think. Well, so I'm one of those people with the rare PlayStation Vita, which
Me too.
no one's ever heard of and no one plays or uses ever. And then to take it even one step further, I like this really obscure game on the PlayStation Vita
Here it
called
is.
Soul Sacrifice.
Well, it's not that obscure.
No, that's not obscure.
Is that not that obscure? Okay.
That's like the best game that Vita's had released for it in the last
Exactly.
6 months.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if it was obscure because it's like it's kind of one of the best things it's got going. But if you don't know, it's like a action RPG where you get spells and you can cooperate with friends and stuff, and it's super fun. I've had many a night where my friends and I have been up for like 6 hours straight just playing a bunch of the multiplayer missions and going nuts and fighting giant, scary, gothic monsters. And it's super fun. Really good. You can just customize your dude and do spells however you want. And that's probably one of the games that I've put the most time into, other than a game I have already beaten, Tales of Graces. Tales of Graces F came out last year on the PS3, and it had come out prior to that in Japan on the Wii. It's part of the Namco Tales franchise, where it's just, super generic anime RPG with usually at least a somewhat pretty fun combat system. I seem to love it more than most, but it's like one of my favorite RPG franchises ever because it hits this perfect balance of stuff I don't like in anime and JRPGs with just like the most generic, we have to save the world for this reason, but this character has amnesia and all that kind of stuff. But it's great, and I love it. And Tales of Graces, I had played it earlier this year and beat it, but it was the first time I had played one of those single player, because you can do multiplayer in those, and my brother and I normally went through them together. But this year he was busy for whatever reason. So I played it all by myself and was like, this is still fun, but like I don't see how people do this, because these games are like 60 hours long. And I don't like just sitting there playing a game by myself for 60 hours.
Yeah.
So then I thought, an experiment.
Take breaks.
Let's see if I share this game with my friends. And Zero Style is like me, where he's like, I don't think I can really play games for a long amount of time anymore. I think I've grown out of that hobby of just sitting and playing video games. I have become an adult. I own a house, says Zero Style. And so I was like,
house.
So I brought the game over, and like we were just kind of hanging out, me, him, and two of our other friends. And we're like, all right, let's just throw this in here, I guess, and see what happens. And like 8 hours later, we're like, we should probably be leaving. It's like 4 a.m. But like we were all like, I feel like if any one of us had not been sensible and was like, nah, let's just keep going, we probably all could have been easily convinced. But one guy had to drive back to Cincinnati, and I live like 20 minutes away, which is not nearly the same distance as to Cincinnati.
I did that with Heavy Rain. I'm just like, I'm gonna try this for a sec, and it was over.
Heavy Rain is the. How does that game manage to have such bad controls? All you do is walk around, and you have bad controls.
Because walk is with a trigger button.
It gives you literal tank controls. You have a throttle on a human being. Like that game tried to do things, and I appreciate it, and I love what it attempted. But I got so frustrated trying to move around that.
Do you have tank shot though?
It has marred my memory of that game significantly.
What do you think of the announcement of the Tales of Symphonia Chronicles?
Okay, so Tales of Symphonia 2 is a game you should never play and should just avoid like a plague because it's really bad. But the first one I thought was pretty legit. It suffers from the thing every Tales game does, which is, man, this is kind of not a great story, and like this is just written as like, what are a group of generic anime ideas? Go for it. And someone's like, a tree of mana, a chosen person, someone who like loses their voice, a little girl who is very stoic and can't talk. And it's
Good.
like,
What else?
it's like, all right, good. Perverted guy, a ninja with big boobs. It's just like everyone's throwing them together in this crock pot and like, all right, we got a game. But that is every Tales game. So I won't complain because for some reason I absolutely love it. But Tales of Symphonia was my first one. It still has, like, not that I'm saying any of these games have incredibly well written characters, but probably has my favorite group of characters as a whole. I am excited to play it again, though I am kind of bummed that it is coming out here in 2014.
Yeah.
And by then I will likely have a PS4, and from what I can tell, it will not be backwards compatible.
Right.
So that'll mean I'll be like jumping back to the PS3, which is not like a terrible thing.
That's not, people are making a big deal about that.
But like, yeah, like maybe it's because I grew up through NES to GameCube, where it was like backwards compatible. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
But like I understand that the PS1 and PS2, like, those were backwards compatible to each other, and even the PS2 to PS3 was somewhat, if you spent like an extra $200 or something.
Yeah.
And it's not very good. Like, I had one, and like it lagged like crazy.
Yeah, playing
It's
the
not
Metal
worth
Gear
it.
games on the PS3 for the original PS2 game, bad idea. Just low frame
Yeah.
rates. Yeah.
I had trouble with Ratchet too.
But yeah, like, and I get why it's appealing, and like obviously if it was there, that'd be great. I do think it's kind of like I am not a fan of digital stuff not being backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where like physical it makes sense in my mind where I'm like, well, yeah, it just doesn't read these discs anymore. Like,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
when it's like this digital game doesn't work, I'm all of a sudden like, well, why? This is just data. But I understand that there's like a whole infrastructure, and like someone who actually builds these things could probably list off a litany of reasons as to why, like, no, it would be just as expensive to try and figure out how to make the digital stuff.
It's the whole thing about the cell architecture versus the x86
Yeah.
structure. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at the stage right now where I have Tales of Symphonia on my, gaming resolutions for this year, so like I, need to try and play it this year and beat it and all that. But then I see this news and it's like, oh, 2 games on PS3 in HD with trophies coming next year. Like, do I wait? Even though I do have the GameCube game.
Since I don't know like how the HD transfer will be, I cannot say definitively wait.
Right.
But I would say it would probably be worth it. I do think that game is really fun though. But I would definitely say like you should play it with like Sortie or something.
Yeah.
It's like I love those games as multiplayer games.
Right.
Not gonna like that, but you have to recall, like, to start off the game, it kind of sucks for the multiplayer aspect because you only really have Lloyd who's any good.
Yeah, like the second player does kind of get the shaft because first player is the one running around and stuff and like interacting with the world, and then it's like it's only multiplayer once you go into battle. But like my brother, like, which really confused me because he's normally like in like Smash and everything, he is like the rush it down and be always active. But like he took a very passive role and was like, well, I'll just be your mage dude and I'm just gonna hang back and just cast spells. And he absolutely loved it because like I'd be up there hitting with my dual swords, which by the way, Lloyd, coolest main character because twin swords, always great. But like, he'd be Genus, the little mage character, like little boy who has like a yo-yo type thing for his offense weapon, so it's garbage. Yeah, Kendema or something. Some Japanese toy that my American, I don't know what it is.
It's a cup and ball.
Yeah, just cup and ball.
Ball in a cup?
Yeah, pretty great. But as the game progressed, he was getting these more and more powerful spells. And so, like, while it looked like I was doing a ton of damage, he'd be like, well, I just made it rain fire from the sky, and the gods of thunder just blew up everything over here. But you're pretty cool with your swords, Grant.
I don't know. When you get some of the late game combos for Lloyd, it gets crazy.
Yeah,
you
it
can
is
just
silly.
keep going and going and going.
But the game is super long, as all Tales games are. So if you are going to play it, Yogo, be ready for like a minimum 60-hour commitment.
Geez. Well, I played Persona 4, so I kind of get that.
Back on to the things I've been playing. I'm trying to play Persona 4, but something about it just does not like hook me at all.
Really?
And I feel bad because like I am in this mood of like, I want to play JRPGs. And it's like, well, you've got like some of the best ones on your Vita.
Oh, man.
What with like Persona 4 and like any Final Fantasy you could want.
Golden
Yeah,
is one of my favorite games of all
Yeah.
time right now.
And like I try to play it, and like it's weird because I'm like, I like Pokemon, and people are like, where you mount monsters, your personas, you get them all over the place. It's
That's
like a
not
Pokemon
totally the
thing.
same, yeah.
And it is, yeah, definitely not at all. And like it's like not. Maybe it's just because I am a child and I'm like, oh, Pokemon, they're these cute, cuddly things that have personality and I love them. Whereas like Personas feel much more like these are just the monsters you're fighting. Now they work for you. I'm just like, ugh. But I don't know. Like something about that game is not gripping me, and like I don't want to say it's bad because like
Right.
I've seen nothing about it that like offends me or makes me go, this is why this game doesn't work.
That's
But,
that's
like,
a game where like it's not a bad thing at all to play on an easier difficulty or use like a walkthrough guide.
yeah.
Like no shame in that.
But yeah, I just got I think Chie just joined my team, and like people keep going like if you just give it time, like you'll really
I
get
would
into
say you
it.
do have a long way to go.
Yeah,
Final
and
Fantasy 13 logic.
Yeah, and I totally like am willing to accept like like I have plenty, like I'm scratching the surface on this game, so like cool stuff is down the road. But I don't know. It's really tough for me to want to sit down and play it, and like that makes me sad because I was really excited about it because I never have played any of the Persona games. So I was like, this is gonna be awesome.
I'm always iffy on that. It gets better later logic because it's like, okay, I gotta invest 20 more hours and it might get good.
Yeah, I am the same way. Like I'm frequently known as being super critical, and one of the things that does annoy me is when people are like, watch this anime, but it gets good like around episode 13. It's like, well, why am I watching these other ones? Well, you gotta get to know the characters. Then 13 matters. You're bad.
I mean,
But,
it is a game where like I don't think the battle element is not the best part at all. I think it's really
Yeah.
about the story and the characters because they are such deep characters and it is such a good story. And the battle does kind of help break the flow. But if you're spending hours and hours on dungeons and grinding, like that's not the way for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm used to just brute forcing like RPGs, and I have been told like if you up the difficulty on this, you can't do that. Like
No,
it's not a
at
game where
all.
you can just level up and be like, all right, you've leveled up enough. Now you can take on any boss you want.
You definitely can on the easiest difficulty for Golden. Like
Yeah.
it is no problem to get to level 99 and just max out before the end of the game at that level.
But my pride, Pete, my pride.
Freaking Final Fantasy X, I think the enemies level up with you. And in 13, they like cap you from like leveling up.
Well, moving on from Persona though, which I've maybe put 4 hours into, Pokemon Black 2, which I put about 80 hours into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game's still fun. And seeing stuff for X and Y keeps getting me all excited. So I keep going back to that. And then it's weird because I am not a competitive Pokemon battler. I've never entered any sort of Pokemon competition like with battles and stuff, but I still EV train and like abide by their rules.
And do it the man way.
And like and I'm all like I don't want to raise Ubers because I want to be in the OU cups and stuff like that.
Yep.
Even though I'm never going to do anything like that ever. But the last week I discovered that Black Kyurem is an OU Pokemon and not an
Oh
Uber.
damn.
And I got so excited because I was like, this thing's a terrifying monster. He's got tubes and black ice sticking out of his body. This guy's not Uber. He's on my team right away. Like, EV trained one of those things. But that game, I love how Nintendo is like subtly making their games more and more for their competitive audience as well. Like
yeah.
how
At least in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon, sorry. Yeah, when I meant their games, I meant Pokemon in particular.
Freaking Mario Kart and
We won't go into those. But like with Pokemon, like how there is now just someone you can call anytime who will essentially tell you whether you're EV training your Pokemon right.
Yep.
And like there's
Or like
it
what
was
where
like
your
this-
EVs are at. Yeah.
yeah.
when it was like a hidden thing before.
Yeah, when before it was like if you brought it up to Nintendo, they'd be like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then like they like accepted like, "Well, we'll have this girl who will give you a ribbon if you have maxed out their
Right.
EVs,
Right.
but like we won't tell you what you've done. And then after that, we had a person who you could just talk to, and they'd be like, "You're getting close." Now we have a person who will go, "You've maxed out their EVs, and I can tell you've maxed out their special attack and speed." Like, it's just like, "Oh,
Yep.
cool. All right, thanks." And like just stuff like that. And they also have a tower where people level up like every 10 levels, every floor. So it's like, well, now I want to get this guy to 100, so I'm just going to the level 100 floor.
And swap them out.
And just train there because that's where I'm gonna get the most experience. So like
You can do that.
they've built
They need
spots.
that.
They've built spots for grinding. They've built routes for different specific EVs. Like
Just
it's
running
like,
around Mount Silver right here, and it just takes forever.
yeah. In Black and White 2, there is now, or at least Black 2. I don't know about White 2, but Black 2 there is just a tower called Black Tower, and like just the higher you go, the higher the level people are in it, and you do have to battle your way through it. But I'm pretty sure at the top it's like everyone's level 100, so it's just like,
Curveball, everyone's level 200.
oh no,
Oh god.
Oh shit!
spoilers.
No, I'm kidding.
Level 200 Pokemon.
What is this?
But it's pretty good.
Don't worry, I'll just use my missing now.
Oh no, that'd be
He's
pretty
level
great.
256.
Man, you guys, nostalgia trip real quick. Pokemon Red and Blue. You guys, I distinctly remember doing the Missingno trick on Cinnabar Island, and then after that, it just effed up your Hall of Fame PC thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go through that, and you would see like they'd have like listed as a type something was bird type, and that is not a type, and it has never been a type.
Well, missing
Up
no is
there.
technically, or M.
Bird.
One of them was bird type technically.
bird.
So.
And
Bird.
like, but then you'd go on and like sometimes like the randomly just generated garbage data that it's finding would just bring up Mew, and like I
Yep.
remember my friends and I freaking out, be like, this is the key, this is how we get him, it's trying to tell us, it's trying to tell us we're on the trail. And like, oh man, we would like have sleepovers and it would just be dedicated to figure out how to get Mew. And
Then you'd also have the randomly generated Pokemon also on the coast that's based off of your name.
yeah, and I remember getting Charizard and being the happiest kid in the world.
Nice.
I was like, oh,
I
I
had
level
freaking
250.
Snorlaxes.
Hey, that's pretty good. Snorlax is
Yeah, Snorlax is
pretty cool.
It's high capture rates though.
Yeah, true. Well, get Master Balls, dummy.
Well,
can get
yes.
a billion of them.
Yes, I know.
But that was fun. Anyway, off the nostalgia trip, trying to think real quick if anything else I've been playing to move on from. I think that's it. Injustice is fun. I like that game. Injustice is cool. 2
Ooh.
thumbs up. But I saw that on someone else's list. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
how much
fine.
to talk about it, so
I just
Oh
watched it.
dear.
leave that. But
Tony,
anyway,
you have a lot to get to.
Yeah, I was actually playing Pokemon while you guys were talking, not in the distracting
gee.
way, just running around in the grass, hitting A, and just grinding.
Good stuff.
Because that's what I do when I'm bored, or not bored, just
Ah!
Oh wow.
Sorry, you know what I mean. Where it's just like I got 2 hands that aren't doing anything. I might as well get my Skarmory leveled up.
So tempted to make a joke.
I know, but
You're playing still Soul Silver more?
yeah, still so silver, and I'm just trying to. I've gotten all the badges in both regions, and now it's just grind and get everyone ready for. I went to the Elite Four again, and I did not know that they got stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
And I'm like, what the hell just happened?
They didn't in the original Silver, and that's something they do for the Gen 4 remake.
I don't think they even say anything about it. I think you just go there and they're stronger. Like, there's no prompting to it. Like,
Have you faced Red yet?
no, I figured the Elite Four was easier, so I should do that
Probably,
first.
yes. Yeah.
Plus, I gotta have like 1 HM slave to get through. Because I really hate that. I might have said this somewhere before, but I really hate how Red's got this masterful 16 Pokemon, but you gotta have crappy HMs on your Pokemon to get to them.
Yep.
Like, there needs to be a computer right next to him where you can just put it back.
I think I had like a ride on HM Slave. That got me through most of it. And then, of course, I had like Surf and Waterfall and all that, and those are actually good moves.
Hmm.
But I'm just
Yeah.
like, I just remember like putting my Rhydon against his Pikachu and winning, and my Rhydon was level 36. and his Pikachu was level 81.
the horn.
The horn! And I'm just like, this is
I can't wait for
going
the
to be
Pokemon
so
game that
vindicated.
uses those dumb things.
The air lance on Magmar's fists.
I got a question.
Yes.
the thunder as armor.
Yeah, Thunder Armor is the best. I got a question because my cousin brought this theory up to me, and I want to know if you guys think it's BS or not. He was bringing up the idea of using like a Rattata that's like level 1 within an endure item where he'll like endure one hit.
That
And
works.
does-
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, does that work? Where you
Yeah,
just like
it's actually a build in competitive Pokemon that doesn't work anymore because of stuff like Sandstorm. But yeah, it was called a Fear build, I think, back in the day. And yeah, you have Focus, Endure, and I can't remember what the A and the R stand for. But yeah, it's basically just you automatically kill one of their team.
with the level 1 Rattata with quick attack.
Yeah.
That's
That's what it was. The A was like auto or something, or auto
Yeah.
revenge or something. Like I can't remember, but yeah, that definitely existed.
That's pretty cool. We were just talking about Pokemon yesterday. But yeah, I'll get to the.
There's a video out there somewhere. I'm trying to remember what exactly it was, but it was a guy.
Magikarp?
It was a guy who had like an all level 1 team or something like that, and he was taking on Cynthia, and he ended up winning.
Yeah, it was probably
Whoa.
something like that.
Yeah, it was nuts. I'm trying to remember
And
what
then
it was.
all
Endure
6
is
Pokemon.
a nuts move.
Mm-hmm.
And then all 6 Pokemon evolve after they take
Yeah.
out everybody.
Pretty much.
All Raticates. But yeah, and I'm trying to train my team for Yoko and Super for a little meetup later,
Yeah,
which is coming soon.
it is. Holy crap. Month and
Also-
a half ish.
Yeah.
A week, yeah.
Also, Nate kicked
on.
my butt, and I'm mad.
Oh.
Like my Skarmory wasn't leveled up all the way, and he has spikes, and he switched so many times, and he like knocked out my Skarmory in one hit, and I'm like, spikes would have helped right about now.
Yeah.
And I played him again. I kicked his ass. I felt a lot better. I got sweeped him, I think.
Good stuff.
But beyond that, it's been such a long time. Like I beat Luigi's Mansion 2 probably 2 months ago or something, and haven't gotten to talk about it. That was pretty cool. That was a really good game.
Yeah.
Just
it seems
really
really fun, but I've only played like a couple missions into it.
Yeah, you
Very solid experience the entire way through. It teaches you as you go. I mean, let me put it this way. I played more Fire Emblem Awakening than Luigi's Mansion 2. I enjoyed Fire Emblem Awakening more, but Luigi's Mansion 2 is my current game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. It's just really, really solid all the way through. And Ghost Dog,
And Ghost Dog.
which maybe is a thing from now on. I really hope it is.
Bad Doggy.
What I don't
Right,
understand is freaking Luigi's Mansion came out for the GameCube and everyone acted like whatever about it. And then it's like over the years, like people realize because I don't want to be like I liked it before everyone else, but I was totally like this game seems really fun. I like it, and like everyone's like we want Mario 64 again, and then like Sunshine comes out and people don't like it, and it's a great game, and like.
Mm-hmm.
Now years have passed. It's like, and also Luigi's Mansion 2, and people were like, "We've been waiting so long." I'm like, you guys didn't love this at all when it happened. Stop it.
I enjoyed the original when it came out, but since then, like I've really taken a liking to Luigi as a character, so that like made it a big deal for me too. I'm like, Luigi game.
He gets to be a character, unlike Mario. Mario's just hero. Luigi
Yep.
can at least show personality, because like Mario,
Someone's been enjoying their Yahtzee.
Nintendo. Everyone wants, that Nintendo wants Mario to be you, so they don't give him much of a personality. But Luigi gets to be somebody.
Yeah, and he is somebody throughout that whole game. His personality shines through, and it's pretty awesome. And oh God, Bioshock is on here.
That shows you how dated it's been since you've been on.
Dude, that story.
Yep.
It's a good story.
Yep. We gotta wait for a superfluous episode after Super plays it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a whole lot about it. Me and Nate got in a little thing though, where I told him Luigi's Mansion was my favorite game I've played so far, and I played Infinite, and I don't care for Bioshock 1 and 2, but I'm like, Infinite looks cool. I'm gonna play this, and I told him I liked Luigi's Mansion better as a game, and he's like, "What?" And I don't know. I just don't like shooters. I don't like that style of game, you know.
Grant, have you played Bioshock Infinite yet?
I have not. It's down to like 35 or 40 on Amazon though, and
Yeah.
like I keep hearing people going like it's so good, and I feel like it's amazing that I haven't been spoiled on it. Like since like I know literally about as little about the story as you can know.
Right.
That's good.
And like I keep being told like you need to get in this before statute of limitations up and people are just talking about that ending flippantly.
Yep.
And I'm like but I'm kind of with Tony and like I don't really like shooters. Like there's never been a first person shooter game that I've walked away from and just gone like I loved that. Other than
Is
like
it just me or did Grant go
Goldeneye.
full link there for a second?
Oh yeah, he did.
It's my game of the year right now.
It's that Hylian. It's that Hylian.
a friend of
Well,
mine he is not a video game person and he is like BioShock Infinite is the step forward in video games I feel like I've been waiting for. I'm like, whoa, that's a big statement. He's
That
like,
is.
yeah. He's like on record of going like there are maybe 5 video games I really enjoy and think are great, and BioShock Infinite is one of them. Like,
Damn.
that's okay.
I mean, as an experience, yeah, it's really cool as like how it tells you story and how it like introduces the world to you. God, yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
you gotta take your time and explore for sure.
Yeah,
with that game.
definitely. Yeah, when you do play it, definitely take your time. But as a game, and I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything, but
Just like
It's-
combat and stuff is like just kind
it's
of
just-
like whatever.
you shoot, you hit, and you got powers that are kind of cool. But it's nothing like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And I'm not disparaging the game at all. It's great, but I just
sky.
yeah. Oh man, it's pretty too.
You can't break the ground in the sky.
I just yeah. Oh, I got you.
Ah.
I was into my thing there, and I didn't catch you're funny.
Ah.
But yeah, I just think I don't know. Like Luigi, I had a lot of like gameplay moments where I'm like, oh, this is fun and interesting
Hello.
and different. And Bioshock, I'm just like, I'm shooting stuff, I'm killing things, and that I'm not. People are gonna think I swear I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not as fun or interesting. Like I would maybe go back and play Luigi. I don't think I'd ever go back and play Bioshock. That's me, and I'm not going to like platinum it or anything. And the next 2 games I just kind of watched on YouTube because I wanted to see the story.
Oh.
Like, yeah, Catherine in the sense of I don't like puzzle games.
It's
What's
a
that?
weird puzzle game to get into. We talked about this in the last Show Me Your News, though.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. I just want to reiterate, Grant, have you played Catherine?
I have not. It just did not seem like a game that would really appeal to me much, so I just never really gave it much time. I've heard like cool and good stuff about it, but like it everything I have heard, while it sounds like neat, is nothing that sounds like something that I was like, I really want to play it. So
Yeah.
I really haven't gotten into
It's
it.
a good watch, though.
Yeah, if I was like, I'm weirdly like not the like I enjoy sitting around and play like watching my friends play video games, but I'm still like I've not transitioned into the I will watch someone like I will watch a stranger play a video game type thing.
Well, I didn't do
I'm weird
that.
way.
I didn't do that. I just watched the cutscenes,
Right.
like the story modes.
Yeah.
Like,
Or if-
I-
Or if you watch like YouTube videos that like edit the cutscenes with like little bits of gameplay, I'm not like a whole, watch a full Let's Play either. But if it's cleverly edited, or if it's just cutscenes, just if I want to glean the story, like I'll definitely do that.
Damn Uncharted movies.
Yes.
I watched Chugga play all of Pikmin. That's like all gameplay, and I just wanted to kind of get what it was about. It was neat. But that's unrelated. But Catherine, I don't really. Yeah, go listen to last Show Me Your News. I just think story-wise, it's pretty interesting, but Act 3 it falls really apart.
I've heard that a lot.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one. Because I found that very interesting. I was like, "Oh, the story's so good," and I'm like,
I've,
"Yeah."
I have heard the story is great until they pull an anime Japanese game where they make it one act too long. I was like, oh, all right, I know exactly what that means.
I mean, movies do that too, but like the best and quickest way to describe it is the I don't know what the hell is going on factor about this game is really good, and then you find out what's going on, and you're like, yeah, it's no. Oh god, I'm gonna go out on a real big limb here. Has anyone seen Old Boy? Even in the chat,
No.
it's a Korean flick. Watch it sometime. It's awesome. Just I'll leave it at that. Get back to me next episode or something. Any of you. And then I watched Gods Among Us, Injustice. And Grant, what did you like? Is it a solid fighter? Because I just watched the story on that one too.
So it's tough for me to like really like suggest games like Mortal Kombat and Injustice, because I love them and I think they're really fun. But I don't know if I would ever go out and say like this is a great tournament fighting game. Like it's just I think they are a very fun fighting game, and I think they are entertaining to play.
And yet, Warner Brothers is ponying up the money so that it can be an E3 or not E3 Evo. That one,
yeah. And like and stuff like that. Like I'm not sure. Like maybe it is. Like I'm really not like super into that side of it. So like
word on the street is that it's actually not good.
And I'm not surprised. Like that does not really surprise me.
I think it might be just imbalanced.
Maybe like I don't know. Like no. I keep hearing Superman is super OP, but that's
really
I'm like he's Superman.
Yeah, at least it's Superman and not something stupid.
Yeah, but here's something. So I have one friend who keeps saying he wants to pick it up as a serious game, but he is not much of a fighting game like guy. But he was like going to use this as his like gateway, and all I do is play Lex Luthor, and I jump and press X, which is just this big axe swing. And that is literally one of the 3 moves I do, and like it works every time. Like I've got a decent online record. Good. I've got a decent online record, and I'm sure if I went against people who actually really know fighting games, I would get destroyed. But it's just I play enough fighting games that I understand spacing and stuff. So it's just like, okay, this move has a huge range and is very fast and can hit people. Like it hits overhead, so if like they're blocking low, I'm gonna get them.
And like it makes my friend hate me.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, I can basically just step on this guy's dreams of like, I'm going to get real good at this game and enter tournaments. So like, well, I'm just going to jump and press X, and we're going to see who wins. And like,
this just puts me in the mind of when I actually fought Yoko in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
And I chose Hagar.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Iron pipes all day long.
I thought you were going to talk about Ghost Rider and Ultimate, where it's just jump an S, and that's all you do.
God.
All you do!
I projectiled Cyberlink at Youmacon one year, and I just felt bad afterwards. I'm like, oh, now he probably hates me. But if you hate me and you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
But I do enjoy that game a lot. I don't think its story is as good as Mortal Kombat, but I still think it's a good story. I think
Are you familiar with DC lore?
A little bit, not like a ton, but I did read the like lead-up comic thing that they've been releasing every week, which I honestly think that is better than the story mode in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's not really spoilers because it's revealed in like the first like 2 scenes, but this game takes place over like 2 different like alternate universes. And this stuff where like the superheroes are going nuts is in an alternate universe. The comic book, at least so far, has not even hinted at that, and it's way more interesting to me because it gives everything a lot more weight.
Yeah, that's true.
As soon as the game goes like, we're in another dimension and Superman has become a tyrant, I was like, oh, well, this is way less interesting.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to give actual, repercussions to these events.
I mean, that's just comic book world, so they don't want to like do something where they can't undo it. I find it fun to explore that idea, but not like make it permanent,
Right, and that's fair, but like they could have just made this whole thing be encompassed in that one alternate dimension rather than, well, we need to get Superman from Universe A to defeat Superman of Universe B.
My buddy told me there's
that like I feel like that's the end battle of Superman versus Superman.
It's like well, that's what they outline as their plan early on. Like,
yeah.
So like whether or not it happens, you'll have to find out by watching the game.
It's funny.
By
It's,
watching the game.
Yeah.
Or playing it, if you would want to do that also.
My buddy told me about 2 Superman comics semi-recently, one more recent, that there's a arc where it's just kind of a what if, where if Superman landed in Russia instead
Yep.
of
Red
America.
Sun.
Yeah, Red Sun.
And there's a
Good
one
stuff.
a little more recent that I did not know about, where he lands in Gotham, and the
Ooh.
Waynes adopt him, and his powers activate as soon as Joe Chill is about to kill Batman's parents, and he saves them. So Batman doesn't exist in that world.
That's pretty good.
That just almost sounds like a wet dream.
It sounded. It's a pretty interesting kind of like what
a
if.
wet dream or like a fever dream? I don't know if it's
Yeah, right.
exactly making me wet.
Depends on who the author is and what their perspective is.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of like I've seen all of DCAU. I know Wonder Woman's backstory, Green Lantern's backstory. I know, and like they got all the actors from those too, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And the Teen Titans actors, like they went all out on actors when they could, and I enjoyed the story. I didn't not saying it was amazing or anything, but I really enjoyed just watching it play out,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it in that aspect alone. And I hope they do a little more with it too, a sequel or something.
I can't wait for Scorpion and Sub-Zero to be DLC characters and everyone to be really mad.
That is
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit silly.
And oh, you guys are gonna hate me for this. I started to play Mass Effect. I got the collection
too.
of it, and I'm like I have the problem that you do, where it's like I don't play 60-hour games anymore, which I wouldn't. I'm not saying I
It's like
completely
a
write myself.
30-hour game, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I was doing everything. I can't like not do everything. I just want to.
Oh, well. It'll take
And
you
I'm
a little
like,
longer.
That's the beauty of Mass Effect, though, from what I understand.
Hmm.
As an outsider looking in who has also not played through the franchise.
And I'm just like, oh god, this is like a Final Fantasy game I'm picking up, and there's 3 of them. And I'm like, I don't think I can do this right now. I just kind of made that decision. I'm not saying it was bad. I really enjoyed it, but I'm like, oh god, what am I getting into? Like, hours and hours. Like, I spent 3 hours when I got to the Citadel, like, doing nothing. Like, I was
Oh,
doing-
well, okay. If you do that, then it's going to be more like what you were talking about. I mean,
That's how I play things, though. I like to explore every nook and cranny and get all the upgrades I can, and then move
Well,
on.
then, geez, Final Fantasies aren't 60 hours for you. They need to be like 200.
It depends.
it is an experience, though, and I know a couple other smidges have been starting to play Mass Effect as well, and I hope they don't get totally hung up on the first game, because it is kind of different compared to the other two. I mean, the other two were, strictly built in Unreal Engine, so it's definitely like the cover-based shooter, like that you're probably familiar with if you played other Unreal cover-based shooters. But it's kind of an older game, and it's a little buggy, but you got to take for what it's worth, and then kind of transition it in the second game.
Yeah.
I just hope that people who play that game to be like, well, I don't like that because reasons, and then not really give it a chance, if that makes sense.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything horrible with it.
Hmm.
Like,
So
I thought the
I-
combat. I got stuck in a wall one time.
those glitches
What?
are fun.
Like, I got stuck in a corner. I like went in this corner, and there was like a wall in front of me, and there was one of my side characters behind me, and I'm like, move. I can't move,
Oh,
dude.
God.
I had to save and restart. But I mean, it was cool. I just was like, in my head, I'm like, this is 3 freaking. I wish I played them as they came out,
Oh, for sure.
because now I'm like, oh god, I don't know if I can do this right now. So that one's gonna be on hold for a little bit until I can. Inversely, after that, I picked up Donkey Kong Country Returns,
Mhm.
which is
Super fun.
perfect.
I love it.
Perfect for a handheld too.
Yeah, you don't have to shake your system.
I'm
Oh,
really
that-
tempted to pick that one up.
If you've never played the Wii
I
one,
highly
do that.
suggest it.
Well, I got through like World 3 of the one on Wii, and then I'm just like, I can't do this shake Wii remote to jump, or no, pound or whatever. Like, I can't.
That's
Oh,
gone.
man, was that what it was?
No, no, it wasn't to jump. I'm thinking like Sonic and the Secret Rings. It was something important though. I think it was shake
Yeah,
to
it was
pound.
shake
the
It was
pound
to
grab
roll.
everything.
That was it. It was shake to roll.
Okay, yeah, I can see why people would not have been so crazy about this game then, because it's really fun on the 3DS.
Oh, it's amazing, dude. That sound effect when you jump on stuff is like always sound freaking satisfying.
Barn.
Uh, I can't get the jump timing, like to jump higher after you bounce on something. It's a weird.
Yeah.
Can't. Yeah.
I mean, I'll get it, but dude, Yoko, like, I know you're not as good as 2D platformers as like me. This game is hard.
No, it's
I-
literally true.
I know, but it's just funny to hear.
Like, he's never played the original Mario Brothers.
Yep. In fact, that was actually a game I was considering if I was going to start today, like tonight, stream my first ever playthrough or attempted playthrough of Mario 3.
Oh, not Mario 1?
No, 3 and World are on my resolution.
Have you
Three is
played
way
one?
better than one. There's, you're gonna play three.
I've
there's
barely
no-
played one. I've played like a few levels of
That's
one.
okay. I don't want to watch you, like, get to the Hammer Brothers and get mad.
Just do Super Mario crossover. Be happy.
I was gonna do the All Stars pack, the Wii version of 3.
That's
When you
good.
go to-
So it looks
Good
better.
first.
And then I can ask you when you're going to finish the All-Stars pack every week.
Yeah, don't do that.
But yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns is great if you've not played it on the Wii, especially get it. And it's like way better and you won't know the things wrong with it.
You
It's
won't
so-
even know.
Yeah, that's my perspective, as I had never played the Wii one. So
And just how it's like level segmented and stuff. I think it's amazing on the handheld. Also play 3 Hearts version because I'm finding it hard on that. I can't imagine. God, Retro made this hard.
They did.
I don't know. I got all the Kong letters in every level and all the puzzle pieces.
I can get all the Kong
The Wii
letters, but
version.
I'll miss like 1 or 2 puzzle pieces every time.
Yeah, I got to the final level, the secret level, and all that. It was a fun experience all around.
Yeah.
And for those who have certain SD card codes,
Uh-huh.
they don't have to have a Wiimote.
Yeah, I was thinking about just when this game was like announced, I'm like, I'll just hack my Wii and just play it with the classic controller. But then it dawned on me I would never do that. It was just the work. I'm like, I'll just play it on the handheld. And I'm finding it a much more enjoyable experience because I can just pick it up, put it down.
I'll take your word for that. I'll get that
Yeah.
on 3DS.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, check it out. And this just came out, Ratchet Deadlocked. Just came out on PS3, the HD version of it.
Hmm.
The people who got Full Frontal Assault got it like free because apparently they didn't like port the Vita version very quickly. And they're like, here, you can have it for free. And I'm like, no one would have bought that anyway. 'Cause it's like not a very good Ratchet game and it's on the Vita.
Yeah.
And Deadlocked, I'm going to go on record because I've thought about this. Deadlocked is the only good Ratchet spinoff. Only good one. It is
Were there
so... Do what?
Were there other ones? Or, well, all for one, I guess.
There's All for One, there's Full Frontal Assault, there's Secret Agent Clank, and there's Size Matters.
Oh, I guess I'm
And,
not really all that
I'm
up on the Ratchets.
Yeah.
They don't really matter in the grand story or anything. I've like tried them and I'm like, I can't do this. And all of them, even All for One, I was just kind of like, eh. But this one's like consistently fun. How it's laid out, it's so fun. Clank's not on your back; you're just blowing stuff up, and it's mission based. Kind of like Luigi's Mansion in a way, where you go through a bunch of quick, satisfying missions. I don't know. It's just I really like how it is, and I like the main little 2 guns and your little 2 robot companions, and it's a really good game. Although the HD port, it's not bad, but like in cutscenes, I don't know. I've noticed in cutscenes sometimes HD ports are weird. Like you can see
Super
through,
HD mode.
you can see through like the top of their eyelids.
Yeah.
There was one weird shot where you could like see through Ratchet's face real quick, and I'm like, whoa, don't do that.
Yikes.
Gameplay looks good though, so that's all that really matters. Kind of takes you out of the moment a little bit. Okay, Yoko, your turn.
I've got a lot of games.
You got more.
That is a
games.
lot of games.
Most of these, so I'm going to be really quick actually. Some of these you can find bits on our YouTube channel at Show Me Your News. Let's start with
Or
Banjo-Kazooie.
the Twitch recordings.
Yeah, they're basically Twitch recordings. Well, we get for the full ones, yeah. But if you just want to see the highlights, YouTube is where to go. Banjo-Kazooie, I'd started this the last episode and I finished it with some Sminja help. And
I help.
Huh.
You did help. Well,
I-
Sminja's helped me get 100% on the game, so I'm very thankful for that. It was really cool to
That
kind of
odd
experience the whole
feeling where
thing.
Yoko beats this game before I do.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I verbally, like, I was exhausted because I had to type out how to get everything in Rusty Bucket, and that was, like, exhausting to, like, for me.
I mean that
Oof.
level kind of sucked.
It was
Oh, that level
exhausting to
sucks,
watch.
But
yeah.
I did put a lot of
I watched
highlights
Tony do
there,
it.
so that was fun. Especially the race against the bear in Freeze Easy.
Oh, yeah.
And I had it's like a slalom race basically, and there's this point where I couldn't pass through a slalom like a couple times, and like on my third try I was so far behind. I'm like, well, I'm coming back. I'm gonna get you, and I end up pulling off the comeback. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, and that was good. I mean, a little tedious with the final boss. It took me a few tries, but it was a good fight.
I was so sad. Like, he had a lot of trouble with Click Clock Wood. He fell off a lot.
You know what? Click Clock Wood.
I'm not making fun
No. I'm mad at myself because I was like gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna finish this ending bit. It's gonna be really gonna do it in one night, and then I was trying to climb the tree in spring, which is pretty difficult to do. And I thought like, oh, there's probably a jiggy at the top of the tree in each version, each season. No, just at the top, only once, whatever season you get to. And it's through each season that you get to, it's easier and easier to climb the tree. I'm like, I spent like 45 minutes trying to do this, and then
I didn't
gave
know that,
up.
dude. I'm so
Oh,
sorry. Because
that's
I didn't
okay.
see grab the jiggy, and like, I always climb it in spring as soon as I get there, so I didn't know.
Like I just couldn't. Like it was the last little bit, and oh man, that was frustrating. But so that kind of like diminished my Click Clack Wood experience, I guess.
It's real
Nice
pretty.
tune though.
It's a good one. But yeah, really good game overall. I don't know if I'll get to Tui immediately,
That
or
would
if
be
I'll just
good,
wait
I
on
think.
it.
It's a big game. Like, it's bigger than Kazooie by a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy I played Kazooie. That was one of my resolutions, and it's nice to check that one off.
Yeah.
I played The Unfinished Swan on PlayStation Network. That's
really cool.
a game like Journey. Very short, kind of $15 ish. Very artistic. I really enjoyed it. Very shortly, 3-hour game really. So it's a bit longer than Journey. But it's artistic in a way that it starts in a white area, and you throw. The idea is that you throw different blobs of paint, or water, or what have you, and the blobs hit different parts of the world, and that's how you explore. And a story kind of plays out over the course of 4 acts, and for a quick game that just it kind of plays with different mechanics and different things with how it's artistically presented. I did enjoy that experience. Sword Hunter and I had an evening during this past month. We played NHL 98 on Sega Genesis. Always good times for those sports games, so that was fun.
The sports games have gotten so complicated nowadays.
They have.
It's just fun.
I mean, those are like the really arcadey. It's like a really good arcadey NHL game.
Give me Tecmo Bowl with 8 plays any day.
Sword Hunter also played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and I watched the first couple hours of that. I mean, it was a story that you really couldn't grasp what was fully going on. And Raiden's character motivations were questionable, and there are these, desperado,
Quentin Flynn
villains.
is not good at doing the Dark Knight voice.
No, he isn't. And
Things have gotten very bad.
the action was kind of fun, and Sword Hunter was getting frustrated because, and I'll give him this, when they do like a tutorial at the beginning to kind of show like what the moves are, there's a parry move that Raiden has. Well, for a lot of those, when you're trying to like teach the player, it's like, okay, try this once. Okay, try it a few more times to kind of get used to the timing, because parries usually have very specific timing. Well, that tutorial was like, okay, here's how to parry. If you do it once, like, okay, we're moving on. And I think he did it. He did that one by fluke, so he never really learned the timing. So that made combat very frustrating for him. That might be one where I eventually see the cutscenes, or even get it when it's cheap used later on and try it myself. But it's very different than the MGS.
I don't even. Just I don't even. I don't like that game exists sometimes. It's not. It's silly and whatever. But
It's not a bad game, but when you
why
compare it
does
to the Legacy Collection for Metal Gear Solid.
I might get that for the art book and stuff. It's only $50.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty good deal.
My soapbox last time on Show Me Your News last week was about the post-credits scene in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I played the campaign. It wasn't a bad campaign. It was different. They tried things like you would basically make choices at certain points, or if you accomplished certain things, that would change the outcome. And it creates, for all the different choices, it only creates about 3 to 4 meaningful endings with different variations here and there to customize your experience. I did not get a good ending. I did not do certain things well, and there are these optional, basically optional missions that are critical to get a good ending, but I could not find out how to actually play them. So that shows you a good how well the game was designed there. It was a more meaningful step up for the storytelling of the series, which has generally been average. I mean, the Black Ops, I think overall Black Ops, the first game, was better story-wise than the second, because just what it was doing for, character development and the twists and all that. But Black Ops 2 was just... I was also playing it on Wii U, and I was using the gamepad at first, was not digging its sensitivity for shooters, and then I just switched to the Pro controller, which I also got when the Wii U launched. I got the Xbox Wii U controller, let's just say, and that was more reasonable to play on that, despite the inverted right analog and face button switches. You get used to that really quickly. It's just strange to have...
There's a company making a Wii U Pro controller that is pretty much the exact Xbox layout.
Yeah. Not surprising there. It's just strange for a first-person shooter to have your hands spread out that far on the gamepad. So I don't know. I mean, it's probably something to get used to. The post-credit scene, if you want to watch it on our YouTube channel or hear my rant on the last episode of Show Me Your News, that's episode 135, I believe.
I showed Nate, and Avenged Sevenfold is his favorite band, and he was sad.
It does make you sad if you like that band. It's a sellout and a ridiculous thing. I think Game Buddy even experienced it, and he was just like, wow, I thought Yoko was exaggerating, but seriously, that was awful.
Yeah, all I know is that I saw that scene, and I'm like, I have no bearing on any of these characters or anything. And the guy in the wheelchair stands up and I'm like, well, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's like, this is a scene for anyone not having any knowledge of the game whatsoever.
When one of the characters killed the other in the not so good ending I got, and then suddenly they're in a band fucking around with Avenged Sevenfold, you're trying to take a serious game ending, and then that all goes punted out the window. It was crazy. I played then Dust and Elysian Tale on Xbox Live Arcade.
Which is a great game.
It is a great game. I think if people really enjoy the Metroidvania style of games, but with more of a brawler focused, really fun combat, really smooth, responsive. Although
Looks like Odin Sphere.
It does kind of with its design, I guess. It did come out on Steam though, so if everyone doesn't have an Xbox Live Arcade or Xbox Live, it came out on Steam, and apparently a very good PC port of the game. A lot of customization, full 1080p, all that stuff. So get Dust and Elysian Tale on Steam. Really fun combat, good exploration. The story, it sufficed. It wasn't spectacular, but it did its job. But the gameplay was really where it's at.
Yeah. Really, the story is something that just kind of pushes along the ability to see new areas and stuff.
Right.
I was reading about that, and apparently he planned it to be an animated movie, so that's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, and it's one dude who made the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
It took him
That's
4
what's really
years.
impressive about
That's
it.
great. Then I played Fez, and those who watched Indie Game the movie know about Fez. And
Made that developer look so crazy.
yes, he did go through some crazy. So
It's understandable, but
I was really enjoying Fez. I was having a great time. I was a couple hours into the game.
sounds like a story with a butt.
It's got a big old butt.
Oh no!
West LA with the Oakland booty, as it were. I was about 2 hours in the game. The goal is to collect little cube pieces, and it's a rotating world. A fantastic gameplay collection. And those little cube pieces, 8 of them, create a big cube. And you have to get 32 cubes overall, and that's the end of the game. I was at 9 of 32 cubes, so my progression was pretty good. And then they introduced this element in the world exploration of black holes. Because, oh no, if you rotate the world too much, the world will fall apart, and it seems to be random when it appears, and it's at strategic places and all that, so you have to make specific jumps. When you enter the black hole, your character overlaps with the black hole space, you kind of like, suck into it, and then respawn at, a reasonable point. This is a game where there are no lives. Whenever you fall, you just, you fall, and then respawn quickly back at a safe place. So it keeps moving. It's really smart in its game design that way. However, I made a jump on one level, and again, this is a highlight on YouTube if you want to go check it out. I made a jump at one point, and it was too far. I got sucked into a black hole, and I got sucked into a black hole loop. The respawn point where it put me at was somewhere where I was immediately being sucked back into the black hole. And it was just loop, loop, loop. I'm trying to mash every button, trying to get out of there. I don't know if it was like DI or whatever. Could not do it. You just loop, getting sucked in. You can't do anything. So, okay, it has an autosave system. Like, all right, I don't know how far it's going to send me back. I'll just start. At least I can do that. I can start and pause the game, menu, quit the game. Quit the game, try to enter it back in. It freezes on load. The game uses an autosave system. It does not show you save slots, and it's one save slot that way, so it's just a new game or continue game. Continue game froze the game. My save is corrupted. Lost my progress.
Froze the game, man. Froze the game.
It's so frustrating because I was really enjoying it. Apparently, it's a game where Microsoft has been crappy, surprise, surprise, with indie game developers to patch the game. So there is a Steam version. I think when it drops a price during a Steam sale, I'll get it and continue it later on that system because it was a really enjoyable game up to that point. But that is a big old butt. When you have just a game corrupting glitch, that was rough. So then I played, a week ago actually, I played Pokemon Crystal at 600% emulation speed. Just to get through it. And when you play a Pokemon game at that speed, it is tough to go back. Because grinding is no problem. Yeah. So I whipped through that game in about 3.5 to 4 hours of real world time. And so in-game time, that was like almost 22 hours. I had my team that was at level 43 of Kadabra, Graveler, Suicune, and Meganium. Because I started with Chikorita. I'm like, I hardly start with Chikorita. Let's do this. And that actually turned out to be a good decision. And then I had HM slaves that were really low levels of Krabby and Pidgeotto. And, I have my Elite Four run. Again, YouTube, if you want to watch the Elite Four run with that team at 600%, it's a good time for 12 minutes or whatever that I actually took in the real world. Gears of War. I had started Gears of War a while ago. Didn't really get too far. Maybe cleared the first level. I'm like, I don't know. Then I played it with co-op. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
I've always heard those games are really good co-op. I've never had a 360, so never had a chance.
I mean, but it is a game that, brought the Unreal cover-based shooter to the gaming masses. And when you've played a lot of those games that borrow elements from that, like Uncharted, in a way, you kind of Tomb Raider, I suppose. But those kinds of games, Mass Effect 2 for sure, and 3, it is very outdated and doesn't stand up well, and it wasn't a story that was engaging me, so I wasn't feeling inspired to continue. So I don't know, if I give it a third try for the co-op, maybe that'll be lucky, but I don't see my opinion changing too much on it.
I enjoy the banter.
Once you get Baird and Cole, yeah.
Well, I mean, we got up to Cole, and we saved him and then did something.
Oh, because at that point, that's when the game It's one of those. And then it gets good, but I kind of liked the game up to that point
Mm-hmm.
because I played it when it came out, so nothing was really that old at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, as far as the campaign's concerned, I think the first one actually has the best.
Hmm.
But its late game is a lot of fun.
Okay.
So hopefully, if you do give it a third try, you'll start off where you left off.
I mean, I do want to see the story, like, because it's a trilogy. It's kind of established, so
Yeah.
that might be one that I watch. So that's an option there. DMC Devil May Cry, the Devil May Cry series.
I really liked this game.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
yeah.
you guys. I love you guys. I knew we were friends for a reason.
I had watched the first 4 Devil May Cry games. Well, the first one, like, these are past stories on this podcast, but I was terrible at the first Devil May Cry game. Like, I was getting my ass handed to me by the first boss. I'm like, what is this? Hack and
Jump
slash.
triangle. That game's just weird.
Hack and slash. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So then I watched the story, and the first one was okay. The second one was awful, like everyone says. It was just stupid. And the third one, I really liked the story in 3. I started to play 4 for a little bit, and some of the puzzles there were, not syncing with me. Although the gameplay was more fun in 4. But then that ultimately is just one, like, I'll just watch that. I've just done that with the others. So now the reboot comes out, and I get that through GameFly, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this a legitimate try now. And I did really enjoy it.
It's so it bothers me because I have friends who are like the Dante, they ruined him, and I'm like
the hair.
Okay. Here's the thing. I get when you are nostalgic for a character and you've seen them for however many years as one way.
And Dante is a cool character, like for those first several games.
And he's neat, but he is not like a good character. Like we can't say like Dante is this well-written, like masterful artwork of a character. Like it's just he's a badass demon hunter. I get it. And now we've kind of made him kind of more punky emo. Like, and I get why that would be a turnoff for people, but it's like he's still just a dude with a big ass sword killing demons. Like he hasn't changed that much.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What I thought, Grant, was that I enjoyed the old Dante in a different way, and I enjoyed this one in he's totally a dick way.
Yeah, and like
Like
I
an
was
entertaining
really,
dick.
I was really waiting for like a big reveal of like he's really a scared little boy deep down, like because I did find it like almost like funny how anytime something terrifying and monstrous would show up, he'd be like, "Whatever, I'm not scared of you."
Yeah.
like he had to tell himself that he wasn't scared.
With
And I
the
was
tyrant's like, what are you doing here, fat ass?
Yeah, like, hey, what's up? I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of you. You thing that just threw a Ferris wheel at me or whatever. like, and it's just like this insane stuff happening, and I was like, there's probably gonna be like some deep humanizing moment where like someone's gonna be like, Dante, you can't be so reckless. And you're like, but that's the only way I can do this. I can't let the fear get to me. Like, I was like, I bet that's gonna happen. Nope. That doesn't happen at all. Spoilers. He's just not afraid of anything.
No,
But
It was a fun soundtrack too. I did like how
just
the
crazy guitars.
crazy guitars and the metal and all that stuff.
Like, I love the little chain thing where you can like zoom into people or pull them to you. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I can't remember when that's exactly. And that's I love beat 'em ups and I love like hack and slash games, but it's always frustrating when like you've knocked them out. Now it's like, all right, gotta walk over to them and start this combo over again.
Well,
like,
I mean,
this one
using
just
that
kind of
yeah.
utterly eliminates that with like
using
knock
that
'em
to
out.
continue the combos in the air for sure.
Yeah, it's
Like
so
if
fun.
you're dropping, but you're gonna latch onto an enemy and continue the combo. I know some of the platforming parts were a little iffy.
Yeah,
the
platforming is
furnace
great.
level got confusing.
I watched Nate die a lot, just jumping.
Yeah, it is definitely not the best level design, and the platforming parts of it are not the greatest. But I feel like as far as just a sheer like combat goes, it might be one of my favorite just hack and slash combat games ever.
Yeah, it
'Cause
was
Music.
I had fun every time I encountered something. Like I was never, more bad guys. It was like, yes, come to me, bring them.
And the story, I can see where people have issues with it because it does kind of.
It's a whatever story.
well,
I don't think the
it
other
throws-
games have
when you
that
compare
kind of
it
stories.
when you
either.
compare it to when you compare it to the first Devil May Cry game, and it's like, oh, Mundus is the bad guy again. Let's see how that plays out. I mean, plus the backstory is different too, and I can see how people may have issues with it if they have a deep fondness for the old games, but I liked it enough. And then there's a twist at the end that if you know the franchise, you could see coming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure. Because it's like something's not right here with you.
Tell you about my best friend, my brother.
I really like the environments too.
Yeah,
Like,
the
those really stood
visual effects they did in this game were
the text.
fantastic.
With the text showing up in the
Oh,
environments.
yeah.
So
that
cool.
was funny. That got funny later. Just I really thought it was a unique, fun little game, and everyone's like, "Oh, Dante," and I'm like, "Guys, only 3 was good, really."
And I played it on an easier difficulty because it's a game that I hadn't had the best experiences with or series going into it. But then you see for those who are the more hardcore, yeah, it gets stupid hard.
Yeah.
I heard it
It's
gets
like-
fucking hard. Like I heard Angry Joe saying it gets like it doesn't work, like right or something.
Well, the hardest difficulty is, enemies have the same health, but you die in one hit.
Oh yeah, that's always been a stable though too.
Yeah.
So like for those, there you go. I mean, just
Except-
imagining Gerard
well-
for the completionist, like, yeah, have fun with that. Every
It's like a
mode.
heaven and hell where you like everybody gets killed in one hit, but you do too, and then there's a hell in hell.
Yep.
Where it's as you described.
Oh no.
So I really did enjoy that one. So I'm happy that I got to play through that one. And then Sword Hunter and I yesterday for my last game messed around on messed around on DDR Mario Mix.
Nice.
So that was like a good hour and a half. We're out of shape, but it's been more than 5 years at least since we've played that game. So
Oh dear.
Luigi's the main villain.
no, he's
over
not.
that.
It's like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
main villain for the first chapter.
Yeah, the first chapter.
I don't like that game as much now.
Still want a Waluigi game.
Again,
Waluigi Land.
the
It can
highlight.
do anything.
The highlight
He
we
has
put on
every
YouTube is the last level on the hardest difficulty, and halfway through I'm like, I'm tired, and we trade spots and still somehow pass, but then still fail. I don't know.
Because it's Mario.
It's a strange Mario game for sure.
I would love for there to be a super guide and a sequel to that. And it's like goes freaking crazy dancing.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to play through the story mode, and it has this mush mode on where like little enemies like hammers or cheeps or blooper tentacles like show up in different steps. And after a while, like, we can't beat this part on the hardest difficulty it offers for the story, which is the second hardest difficulty overall. So like, you know what? We're just gonna do free mode and play through each of the songs from there on out. So it was good. It was fun. We are over time, so let's whip through these mail times here and get to some YouTube video recommendations quickly.
Hey, we ain't had a long one in a while.
Yeah.
Eh.
Mail time. First one comes from Skull Jumper. Aside from Smash 4, what is your most anticipated Wii U game right now? Wind Waker. Wind Waker HD.
Right now, the only one I really care for is Smash 4. I guess no, I don't really care for Wonderful 101. Wind Waker?
Pikmin 3.
Mario Kart, because it might have Mario and Sonic Kart.
Yeah,
Or Bayonetta 2.
Oh, well, yeah.
Forgot about that one.
Ooh, Bayonetta 2 is a good option too.
Yeah.
I will
There's-
I will anticipate a Wii U game after E3.
There you
There's
go.
there's gonna be a lot. There's already kind of a good amount that's gonna come out, but right now I'm impulse. I'm gonna say Mario,
Yeah.
Sonic Kart. Hopefully will happen.
The eventual
Yes,
Pokemon Stadium.
Has to
One
be
can only hope.
after A3.
Missing No asks, what games do you currently have pre-ordered and why?
I've got the Kingdom Hearts HD remix.
Me too.
Because I love those games. And hey,
Too.
trophies on Kingdom Hearts, sign me up. But have you seen that trophy list? It's gonna be impossible. It makes me so mad.
I hate that don't equip anything.
Ah, why would they do that?
It's an RPG. That's what
Who
you
would play a
do.
game like that?
The soundtrack though, I think they redid the soundtrack.
Did they? I didn't hear about that. That's
They
amazing.
did.
if They did.
They just no. They just played it with instruments. It's not like amazingly like.
That's
orchestral.
great. That's all I want.
There's a
Like,
YouTube video where it's like the full soundtrack and like they have like different timestamps so you can jump to it. I'll link to you
Yeah,
after the
you're
show.
killing
And
me.
it's
This is-
Huh.
Link
the
me that
quality
too,
is
actually.
the quality's great.
I'll just link it in the topic.
I also have the Tales of Zillia collector's edition pre-ordered because
Nice.
$100 and I get a cool little action figure in the soundtrack. Cool. Like that's I'm dumb like that and ready to spend more money than I need to. But I like having statues.
I don't have anything pre-ordered.
Yeah, you
I don't
generally
really
do that, do you?
No, I'm not usually someone who does that. I think if I'm gonna pre-order anything, it'll just be Smash 4 as soon as I can.
It
I
needs,
wouldn't
generally needs to have
pre-order-
a good bonus, I think, for me too. So I don't have
I
anything
wouldn't
right now, but I want to get Kingdom Hearts. But it's like I think I'll be able to pick up that easily. I don't know.
I do it just to do it.
Year for
sometimes.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
I just like to go there and just have the game paid off sometimes. Like I paid off Donkey Kong like the day before, just so I could just come in and be like, "Gimme."
Mine.
Yeah.
Wait, couldn't you just, hit the thing in the 3DS eShop and just downloaded it?
I don't want to do that.
I'm downloading Animal Crossing for sure on 3DS. Like I'm
Oh, yeah.
super excited for that game. But
Just
the
to have that
idea
with you
of
at all
I will
times,
have it
yeah.
always.
Yep.
Like perfect.
Don't have to worry about the cart in the system. Yeah.
Like
That-
I almost got onto this topic when we talked about you not being able to get your ambassador stuff, but like
Oh,
I've
yeah.
become like when it comes to portable games, like 100% digital. Like I get rid of my physical games when it's a portable thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
all
Okay.
digital stuff
Yeah.
on Vita. But
Oh, yeah.
kind
with
of feeling like
Nintendo,
that now.
with Nintendo, I'm super scared because they are not good with their online stuff.
No.
So like I haven't made that jump, but I did just get a 32 gig SD card.
Nice.
Oh.
I'm feeling you on that because I keep switching between Pokemon and Donkey Kong, and I'm like, which one do I want to take with
Donkey
me?
Kong is the first full retail 3DS game that I downloaded. Do not.
Yeah.
I did that with
But
Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
That's a good one to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I have Fire Emblem, but I got that from a friend, but I would have downloaded it otherwise.
They gave me that like you can download one of these 5 games choices, and
Yeah, I did that
have-
too.
I have 2 of them already on like cart, and I'm like, I don't really.
See, I
Don't
never
really
got
care.
Mario 3D Land, so I just downloaded that one for free when they had
I
the
might just-
promotion. Get an XL
I might-
and a game.
If you have save data on your like SD card and you download the game, can you just keep going with that save data?
I think they recently announced you could. Like, I think they just patched that into
Yeah.
something.
You can download a little thing
So
that does that.
I heard that.
That's cool. I got Kingdom Hearts like I think paid off just because I traded a bunch of stuff in, and they give you more bonus if you just pre-order something. And Mario and Luigi 4 because I
Oh.
can't wait for
Those
that.
are those are solid games to pre-order.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
I might take a second and look at my SD card, see how many blocks I have.
I might have pre-ordered South Park, but I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. Probably we'll hear more about it at Ubisoft's show this year.
God, they came out and like showed it last year at E3. It's already been a
Mhm.
year. It's crazy.
That whole Matt and Trey bit of
Man,
play
that
it
was
on
beautiful.
this, do it with this. And this.
You're a
On your
refrigerator.
refrigerator.
Well, let's get to the last question then. Kalo Shade asked, but I think everyone's basically asking, what are your hopes for E3 this year?
That Smash 4 is available to play at Best Buy.
That would be nice. I don't think they'll do it, but that'd be nice.
I saw Louisville on that Best Buy list. I couldn't believe it.
I hope for a price point for the new systems, like a
Yes.
price announcement,
Yes.
because I want to know what I need to save up for.
Half-Life 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3. Go, go, go.
I've been saving up, and I've already made it known, like, for my academic stuff, like, I'm going to be buying both systems anyway. Like, I don't need to be sold,
Yeah.
but it would be nice to have it be reasonable price points. My hopes, I just hope for a better show than last year, to be honest. Like, last year was kind of disappointing, and then, word is coming out that with, Microsoft and Sony's conferences, like, going to be game heavy, surprises and all, that it's, Jeff Keighley went and said it's, one of the best, it should be one of the best conferences in years for both
All right,
of them.
So,
since
everybody
I
get
don't.
your-
Oh, sorry, go on.
Everybody get your Luigi Does Nothing gifts ready.
I'm
gonna
really.
say, I really want to, since I don't know if I will be around for your actual E3 episode, can
Oh,
I
yeah?
throw out my prediction real quick? Just
Go
I have
for
on
it,
record?
yeah.
Please.
Okay, it's significantly less like Big Boss crazy because of recent tweets from different companies, but everyone has been poo-pooing Microsoft for their Xbox One reveal, which makes sense because it was like all about TV and sports and stuff. But I think that was just a plan to get everybody talking about them, and they put on a kind of a shit show. So when E3 comes along, they blow people's minds by just putting on like the greatest E3 thing ever, and they win this year's E3.
Microsoft wins E3.
Yeah,
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, Microsoft wins E3 this year. And I'm not saying this like as a Microsoft fan. I'm definitely in the Sony/Nintendo camp.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they have set themselves up to blow people away because what bothers people at E3 is like they didn't talk about games, and now they have gotten all of that stuff out of the way. They have no need to talk about their non-game stuff, so they can just be like, we have our however long conference, here is everything you want to hear about.
I can agree with that. I can see that happening because they dropped the expectations so low.
Exactly. And so like now people are going to go in with super low
They dropped them
expectations.
so low.
And so
they
when
have
they
to impress.
And so when they make something that's actually really cool, it blows people's minds. And so people are going to be like, Microsoft won E3 this year, no contest. Like, so my prediction is Microsoft wins E3 this year.
That's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be damn good because we got like Metal Gear floating around. We got
That'll
all
be
the
on
Nintendo-
Thursday, dude. Thursday.
We got all the
So
Nintendo
close.
big guns coming out. Xbox and PlayStation are gonna be showing to impress, and Final Fantasy something. My hopes are Final Fantasy not sequel, unless it's 7 again. Do 7.
Lightning is back again. Final
Oh my-
Fantasy 13 for.
Oh my god, do 15, you idiots, or just remake 7 because you're hurting for money. Just make $8 billion.
Lightning meets Sora in this filler arc of an RPG.
That is a big boss prediction.
I don't know.
Wah, wah, wah.
I've had enough. I don't know what the hell Square is doing. Rants. Do
And that
Mario RPG 2. Do that.
My not serious prediction: Kingdom Hearts 3 is announced, and it's just a trailer with Sora going, "Who's there?" and Darth Vader comes from the shadows with a lightsaber keyblade.
Oh,
Lightsaber
jeez.
Keyblade.
It's
I
gonna
want
be
that.
sad when that actually happens.
Dude, that's gonna
And then
happen.
Spider-Man swings in and goes, "I'll help you, Sora."
Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping for good Nintendo games that are playable at Best Buy, and not just like Pikmin 3 and Wonderful 101 and the games you already know about that are coming out this summer, but the fall, like the Mario and Mario Kart, no. I hope it's like actually games that like people are playing that we just found out about on the show floor. Like, guess what? They're coming to Best Buy. That'd be really cool.
It'll just be like Wii U trailers, like they are now. Like when they got the Wii U's, it's like you can play Rayman and trailers.
watch all the other trailers.
Not to backtrack, but I just remembered another game I have pre-ordered is the Disney Infinity thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I always liked the idea of Skylanders, but did not want to get into it, but absolutely love Disney. And then I saw that they have like these little Pog things that you can put on their portal that like changes the entire world. Like it just makes you have a theme world. And like the guy who was talking about it, like he did not say anything explicitly. He's like, but we could totally package these things in like toys or Blu-rays. And I was like, I get like every Disney Blu-ray. And
jeez.
I was like, if Blu-rays are coming with these dumb Infinity things, I'm gonna be so mad if I don't have it.
Yeah.
So
Be
I
like
decided to
Monster
take the
Hunter.
plunge.
Or Monster Rancher, which is the one where you can change discs. Is it Monster Rancher?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna be that.
You gotta think they gotta do something Pokemon with the near field communication that's not the Rumble
yeah.
Blast or whatever. Like, do a legit game, not a spin-off thing. that
Bring back
involves-
the
have
trainer
more.
house from Gold and Silver.
Like because for Pokemon toys for near field communication, like the Rumble Blast series would not be what I'd expect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't wait
But
for Street Pass functionality in X and Y. Just see what they do
that's
with
gonna
that.
be great
I mean,
too.
bring back the trainer house, just a house in Viridian City where every trainer you interacted with
Well, that's
is
the
now
thing.
hanging out there and you can battle them.
With X and Y, like they're having a developer show at E3, so like it's been kind of hush hush overall in terms of X and Y news, but there's gonna be a blowout there.
So psyched.
Overall E3, like it should be better than last year. And, like that's all I'm hoping for. Monday's gonna be slammed. As far as like East Coast times of conferences, it's
Yeah.
Microsoft at 12:30, and then Ubisoft's at 4. No, sorry, EA's at 4, Ubisoft's at 6, and then Sony's at 9. And Sony's like blocked for 3 hours. I don't know if they're gonna use all of them, but they're at least blocked for 3 hours.
I'm ready to
It's
love
nuts.
again, Sony.
Wait, that's Monday?
Tell me what
That's
I want to
Monday.
hear.
Shoot.
I'm not
Yeah.
watching wrestling that day.
No, you are not. No, you are not.
Yeah.
And then our show for next week, we haven't determined the exact time yet, but do your yes and no contest submission if you haven't yet, and we'll have our big E3 call-in show on Skype. That should be a really good time. Let's wrap up What Are You Playing Here, though, with YouTube video recommendations. I will go first. I would say just check out the whole channel of Smooth McGroove.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's a great.
He's very talented with a cappella versions of
And I haven't seen a
game
lot of him
songs.
lately.
So
Gerard just used him in a video recently too.
Right.
Use
I mean,
one of
I
the
think
songs
one of
at
my
least.
my favorite ones are either Genova or Spark Mandrill. So I'll link those in the show notes. Check it out, but really just check out all the other stuff. He's very, very talented.
I like Majora's Mask Stone Temple.
Yeah. Smooth.
I really like that song.
Smooth McGroove.
That's cool.
It's good.
I'll just say Game Grumps the movie because I've been wanting to.
Oh, that
Last 2
trailer.
shows.
Oh yes.
And also
John wins.
John wins. And also he posted in the subreddit a few days ago that he was working on another one.
Nice.
So I'm all psyched for that. Even though I know Grant doesn't like JonTron too much.
Hey, it's cool.
So I read his Twitter. Follow Grant on Twitter.
There you go.
I have a pretty neat Twitter. No, I don't. It's boring. Well, I can go ahead and throw mine in. It's a really random, just single video. I would say on YouTube, search Ethan Nudd. Nudd is Nudd, and I don't even know. And it is a simple 12-second video of a kid flying on a broomstick. I'm going to link it in the Skype chat and in the Show Me Your News thing. It apparently has like 2 million views. I thought I was the only person who had seen it because when I saw it yesterday, I had like maybe 30. But it's the dumbest thing ever, and it makes me laugh because it's like if I was 12 years old and had access to camera and video editing equipment, this is something I probably would have done. And it's just a kid clipping together himself. It's like he is jumping a bunch with a broom between his legs, but he cuts out all of the times where he has landed, so it just looks like he's flying, but you just hear him go like.
I'm watching it as you were describing it, and it is amazing.
And it made
Tony
me laugh
approved.
so hard. So, good stuff. Ethan Nudd, I don't even know.
Why'd he make a noise every time?
I don't know. And neither does he, apparently. But it made me laugh. I don't know how I found it. I think someone on Twitter just posted, like, oh my god, and then a link to this video.
This needs to be on Equals 3 next week.
And it made me laugh really hard.
I think mine will actually be a follow-up from my last YouTube recommendation. Remember when I mentioned that Freeman's Mind hadn't been updated in 8 months? He updated!
Holy crap.
Yeah, so Freeman's
Watch
Mind,
Doom
I
Die.
believe 35 has hit. And if you feel like that's a cop-out, well then I'll just tag on to Tony's and go, John wins! A new remix
John
from Jerry
wins.
Terry. I love John Wins, the remix from Jerry Terry.
Oh yeah? I'll look that up.
Because it's just... I just love his little line, the chorus line.
Good stuff. Well, we'll be very excited for E3 this coming week. Big Show Me Your News episode. But Grant, Master WGS, Wuggles, however you want to be named by members of our community. Grant, thank you so
I like
much.
Grant. Oh, you're very welcome. Always fun to be on.
Excellent. So with this episode of What Are You Playing coming to a close, with that, I am Yoko.
I'm Super, and I'm watching this video. I
You're
don't
welcome.
know. I don't.
I'm glad that was for a good reason for your delay. I'm Tony.
Uh-huh.
I'm Grant.
All right, we're out. Have a good one.